What up? How's it going? It's your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J, aquí en la casa, coming at you sideways. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hopefully everybody's been checking out my videos. If not, go check them out. Last two videos I made were about Cesar Chavez races, and the last one I did was pretty much me showing my love and respects to the black community. You know, for the ones who've been for the old ones, for the OGs and the new ones, still fighting for our civil rights, for everybody's civil rights, because when they fight for their own, they're fighting for everybody's. In this video, I want to talk about, in reality, you know, because I do mention this topic in the other videos in the last video that I did, in regards to me personally, my experience with racial discrimination, you know, with me experiencing any type of discrimination, and me experiencing racism personally. And in reality, I want to talk about this because in reality, like I mentioned before, I grew up in the city of Santana, where there's, since I can remember, and from my understanding before that, maybe not, well, yeah, there's always been for at least 100 years, even if it were a small population in Santana, maybe even more, there's been neighborhoods with Mexican people. Right now, as of 2022, since I was born, you can say it's a little Mexico. So I grew up in Santana, in a Mexican influenced city, where there's Mexican culture. Yes, there's other ethnicities. This is the USA. There's other ethnicities here. Little pockets, bigger pockets of some ethnicities than others, but still overall, if you're walking down the street, you're gonna see it's a Mexican city here in the US. So me growing up, personally, that you can say I've been really that I've really experienced any type of racism, I'm just gonna say no. You know, I haven't experienced any. I've, like, especially from the law, you know, from the government, or for the white man, you know. I know in reality, like that I've been personally oppressed. No, I haven't. That I've been like discriminated on, like by power. No, I haven't. In the workplace, personally, no, I haven't. That I felt where it's racism, discrimination by the higher powers, you know, I haven't. I haven't experienced any type of hate towards me or my people regarding my color, regarding my skin. I've hardly encountered. I do, you know, there's Asian people here in Santana and Orange County. You know, in my business, I do construction. Now I have my own company that I'm trying to build up. I got my contractor's license. So I deal with different ethnic groups. And I've learned to present myself in a professional manner and with respect. Depends who I'm dealing with. You know, obviously with my friends, I'm gonna be me. I'm always me, but you know, you're gonna talk to your friends different than you talk to a client. You're gonna talk to a person you don't know different than you talk to your friends or a client. So I present myself the best possible way, with respect. Doesn't matter who it is. But yeah, in my experience in school, you deal with Asians, whites. You know, obviously in your companies, depending where you work for, you're gonna meet Anglos, whites, you know. For the most part, in my life, in my experience, obviously we work for white people. And to be honest, in my experience, I've never had issues with white people personally. Yeah, like I've said in my other videos, everybody's prejudiced in their own right, you know. But that I have hate towards white people, nah. And towards no other race. Individual people, I don't have hate for no one, not even individually, but might have differences. But that does not mean anything racial or towards a race. It just might mean that white man, or that black man, or that. That's it, I'm just calling them out for who they are or what they are or where they're from. Nothing racial, nothing. We all do that. Everybody does that. And if you don't, then you're lying. But if I have ever had growing up or in my experience any type of maybe racial discrimination, not oppression, not like anything beyond that, like where our people are being oppressed. It's just little stuff, certain individuals, not anything towards a certain race. If I name a type of race, it's nothing towards them, because I've met other people from certain races and I have no bad thoughts about them. So it has nothing to do with race or any of that. But in my experience, especially in business, when you're dealing with money, that's when you deal with people that are gonna get a little shady. And in reality, I've never really experienced any type of racial discrimination from, for example, let's say the white man or even cops. I've been stopped before. I've been pulled over. I've been arrested. Thank God I've never been to jail, but I've been on probation and stuff like that for minor things. Had to pay my community service as a youth, But thank God I didn't have to do no time ever. Got a little in trouble by the law, but that's because I was doing things I wasn't supposed to. But I didn't get any type of discrimination. On top of that, a lot of these cops are here, are Latino. But if I could say I've felt certain discrimination, or people want to throw that discrimination card, it's more of a single type of person, from different ethnicities, but I don't blame the ethnicity. It's that person that doesn't understand, or they think they're above, or they just don't, they have no education, or no morals, or no, they're just not smart, Because first and foremost, you could be Chinese, Asian, let's just say Asians. You could be from the Middle East, which is also Asia. You could be European. You could be African American. At the end of the day, you could be from any part of the old world, the other side of the world. Mexicans have been here longer than all of you guys. No disrespect to nobody, but it is what it is. Educate yourself. But there is certain individuals that don't understand, don't know their history, and as well as, you can say we're immigrants. Call it what it is. I say we're not. This has been our lands. But yes, at the end of the day, we're all labeled immigrants. We're all labeled, et cetera, et cetera. But my experiences have been with, for example, I do construction. I took on some side jobs for a Persian. This certain Persian individual, because I would talk to his other Persian friends and they seemed nice. But it was just a Persian. This Persian guy, he took it as, at the end, it's more of a money thing. So, because they don't want to pay you, I assume they want to show an angry side of them. But I would hear him talk about, like, you people, I don't want you guys to build houses. I don't want you to do work for me. He wasn't even paying. He was paying dirt money. But that's when I was young and I didn't understand lo que era, cuánto cobrar, cómo se cobra. I still didn't have a certain respect for myself in regards to how much to charge and what to take on and what not to take on. I'm speaking 19, 20, 21 years old. But this guy would always throw, like, I don't want TJ looking style work here. And I'd always be like, what does he mean by that? Like, what is he talking about, Which that, I didn't take it as hate, but I took it like discrimination, Why would he have to throw that? I bet you in Persia there's houses like TJ too, No disrespect, I'm just being honest. I don't know. I've never been over there, but I'm pretty sure there's houses or hoods or neighborhoods as broke and as poor as the poorest neighborhoods in TJ. And I'm pretty sure there's cities as rich as LA, over there. I'm pretty sure there's the whole world has those. So I wouldn't understand why he would say that. He would present himself like he was better than Mexicans. The last time I worked with him, he literally we got on a verbal agreement. I charged him a certain amount of money for painting about, let's just call it 30 doors. 30 doors. I sprayed all those doors, and I finished in about a week by myself. Prep, paint. I took them apart, took them back, installed all the hardware. Took me about a week. Sprayed all the doors. When it came time to paint, he was kind of avoiding me and pushing it. And at the end, he brought me, finally, probably this was like a week and a half later, he came back. We finally met. He came back with half the amount. And I told him, what's up with this? We had agreed. We talked over the phone. And he even said, I know, we did. But I'm not going to pay you that. Why? Because I will never pay that much amount for painting. Let's be honest, it was $1,000. He gave me half. And he said, I'll never pay that much amount. So we got into a scuffle, not a verbal scuffle, because he was older. I'm not going to beat him up. I was a cranky guy, but I knew better that I'll hurt him, So I stopped doing business with him. Why? Because I think that's one time I ever felt from a certain individual that I felt discrimination. Also, I also felt discrimination from this Egyptian guy. I'm not blaming Egyptians. I'm blaming this Egyptian guy. I'm just trying to state, like, I personally never been oppressed by the law or anybody, I'm just speaking my experiences too, if I felt some sort of discrimination, but it's always from a certain individual. This Egyptian guy called me over to look at jobs. We were talking about them. Then when I gave him a price for a certain job, he literally said, you effing Mexicans always want to charge more than what it's worth. And I was just like, okay, you know what? He was an older guy too. I pretty much stopped from there, I'm like, that's it. I'm still cool with him because you never know, you don't want to also burn bridges. But I haven't worked with him ever since, That's another guy, like I said, I felt discrimination from. But it's nothing, like I said, it's never, personally, thank God, I don't know how everybody else lives, maybe, but I think a lot of us in Santana, pretty much in the same place. I don't know how LA is, because from my understanding, I don't live over there, but there's always been some type of like racial tension between blacks and Mexicans, but I can't speak on that. I don't really know. Now, when it comes to like black people, like I said in my previous videos, there's been, from my understanding, back in the day, there was neighborhoods with black people, but I think they ended up moving little by little. But every time, maybe like 2-3 times that I ran into black people that I've conversated with, because it's not too many that I have personally, it's always been love, so I can't speak on them in a negative way, because in a negative way, I've never had any confrontations with them. One time, a black man, I was young, I was in the streets, black man asked me for some weed. Me and my buddy at the time had some weed. We gave him some. We were young. He's like, I just got out of jail. I've only heard people speak like this on music and on TV, but he literally said, I'm a double OG or triple OG. Me and my friend were young, maybe 14 years old. We're like, oh, damn. Because we never heard that in a real life. And he was like, I just got out of jail. He's like, I'm a triple OG, something crip. And we're like, oh, damn. And he was conversating with us, and at the end of the day, he was schooling us, me and my homie. He was like, you guys are Aztecs, This is your guys' land. Your guys' land. You guys are kings. And me always being I always knew that since a kid, I've always been like, but hearing a black man tell me that, I had a friend that joined my clique, you know, when I was younger. We're part of the same crowd, and he was black, and literally, he would tell me, you know, I used to hate when he was originally from Pasadena, but he would tell me he wouldn't not like it when the black people would come up on the paleteros and all the vendors, you know. He would tell me that would hurt me right here, you know, that would hurt me. And then at this other point, you know, this is one time I felt prejudice, you know. Right here is nothing but Mexicans. In another neighborhood I used to live in, and there was a black old lady that lived. I'll get into that right now, but there's a black old lady that lived a couple houses down, and everywhere in Santana you need permits, but there was this little piece of street that you didn't need permits. I was always getting tickets, and that guy would literally put all his trash cans and all his cars. And he was Mexican. He wouldn't park no cars in his driveway. Big old driveway, no cars. All his cars outside, trash outside. And one day, he came to argue with us about parking our car there. It's a street. It's not even his house. One day I parked there, or my wife parked there. Literally, the black lady, instead of the Mexican man saying this to me, the black lady came over and said, "Hey, if you ever need somewhere to park it inside my house." I was like, wow, not even my own people, you know. I got love for my people, trust me. But at the end, that surprised me from a black person, you know. And then, so I haven't felt too much racial tension and all, you know. Like I said in my other videos, I walk the streets freely. I walk the streets in peace. I work in peace. I experience my freedom in peace, you know. And if I've been arrested, if I've been talked back, it's because I'm probably doing the same thing to somebody, you know, giving them the same attitude, or I'm doing something I'm not supposed to. Who else have that's the only times, pretty much the only times I felt racial tension is probably, you can say, from like Middle Eastern people, not even white people, not even black people. There's probably been another 2 incidents, because in my business, like I said, you deal with a lot of developers are Middle Eastern. I think right now the Asian community is really on top of that, and also, if I've experienced any type of racial discrimination, the most that I've seen is from the own Mexican people, you know. And I'm proud to be Mexican, don't get me wrong. Mi respeto, soy sangre mexicana al 100%. Pero, if you hang out with Mexicans, everybody's confused, you know. I'm born here in the U.S., but if you hang out with Mexicans from Mexico, which I work with a lot, I have a lot of family members, they'll tell you you're not Mexican. You hang out with Mexican Americans born here, they literally belittle the Mexican people by calling them paisas. You know, yeah, Mexican paisas means like, hey, we're from the same place, but for some reason, a lot of Mexicans that have been here for a long time, they belittle the people that are just getting here. You know, they call them paisas, like they take advantage of them. Even the Mexican real estates that I work for, those guys are horrible. I'll tell you right now, those guys are horrible people. No disrespect, you know, because I'm not trying to burn bridges, but from my experiences, I've had bad experiences with Mexican real estates also. I don't know what it is with real estates, but I even had a real estate say, "Don't charge me paisa price." You know, charge me paisa price. Don't charge me American price. I was like, bro, we live in America. On top of that, he's from Mexico. He's just grown here, you know, and he's over here telling me, "Don't charge me American price. Call me paisa price." You know, I was like, what is that, bro? What is that? That's what I felt. Those are little discrimination things I've heard. But how can your own Mexicans? I think there's more discrimination between the Mexican people. If anything, that's who I felt. We discriminate each other, you know, when it shouldn't be like that. We should stick together, unite. I have this word, and mark it right here. You can see it on all my videos. I even have a song. Check out my videos. Check out my songs, my music. I had to take some music down for YouTube because I'm trying to come up on this, but I couldn't have it. I might post it back up. But I have a song in there called Somos Uno. And it's pretty much somos Chicano, Paisano, Mexicano. Somos uno. It's all the same, bro. A lot of Chicanos don't forget that their parents don't even speak Spanish. Don't even speak English, sorry. And yet they're calling everybody Paisa. You know, I've seen that a lot. And it's like, bro, your dad literally has a sombrero on, is a landscaper, etc., and yet you're calling everybody a paisa. Like, remember, we're all here. We should all support each other. We should all work together. We're all one, bro. We're all one. But all you guys need to cut it out, you know. If I felt racial discrimination, it's never really been from the white man, you know. The white man is the man in power. They're the ones establishing everything. They're the ones on top. Wherever you work at, they're the ones on top. Wherever the law, it's the white man. And they always put everybody under them. But I've never felt from certain individuals as a white man, you're going to meet people that are racist. But I've never been treated. Let me tell you this. When I was younger, I used to work for a painting company. My foreman was Mexican from Mexico. One of my nieces, rest in peace, my sister lost her baby. I missed a day of work to go visit her and show some support, you know. My condolences at the time. I never missed work. He came back and told the next day, I told him, you know, my sister lost her baby. I'm going to go visit her. He came, like, literally dissing me. Why you missing work? You shouldn't miss work. I don't care what it is. The white man that worked there, he had swastikas tatted in his hand. He literally told me, sorry for your loss that day. So, like I said, this is nothing towards race groups, but if I just trying to say, if I felt certain discrimination, it's certain individuals, and I'm just telling you their ethnicity. But no hate to no one, much love to everybody. We're here, and if you want to share your experiences, if you felt any discrimination from somebody, let me know. You know, write it down in a comment. And talk about it. Let me know, you know. I hope not, you know, and whoever is, you know, fight the right way for it. However the occasion comes up, that's how you fight for it, you know. If you got to put hands on somebody, maybe because they're doing something to threaten you in that way. Now, if you got to defend yourself, defend yourself with your mind first, your mind and your heart, before you take action. Think about what action you need to take. Obviously, because a man tells you dumb Mexican, you're not going to shoot him. Or you dumb black man, or you dumb Asian, you're not going to shoot that man because he said that. Now, if he has a gun to you, telling you a bunch of criminal, racist stuff, then you got to do what you got to do. I don't know how you're going to take care of yourself, but let's hope that doesn't come up. You know, always use our heads. We got to stop this racial thing. We're all here for one. We're all here. Como decía el Piolín, estamos aquí para triunfar. To triumph. So, échale ganas, mi gente. Especialmente mi gente. Mi raza mexicana. Hay que echarle ganas. Let's not hate each other. That way podemos salirle adelante y estar en el mayoreo como debemos estar, porque no estamos en el mayoreo, estamos hasta el mero abajo, en mi opinión. So, y nosotros, como en realidadmente venimos de una raza de reyes, de arquitectos, de, ¿cómo se dice? Astrologers. No sé cómo se, pero estudiamos las estrellas. You know, nosotros inventamos el calendario, inventamos los zapatos de rubber, ¿cómo se dice? De goma, de rubber, pues, you know. Hay que estudiar mejor, conocer y entendernos, en vez de matarnos, echarnos nosotros mismos encima. Much love and respect to everybody, all my people, all my Asians, all my blacks, all my Middle Easterns, because at the end of the day, I've also conversated with many people that are cool. I'm just speaking my experience. Peace.